Hello, friends. So, this is our very first live on YouTube, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this to, if I can share it to my VIP group. So, let's see if we can find it. All right. You'll just have to bear with me for a second because I am not seeing us on YouTube at the moment. So I'm not really sure what is going on. Let's see. Live. If you're here and you want to comment, feel free, but I don't know if I'm going to see it just yet because for some reason I'm not seeing our live. Hey, Sherry Ann, I see that you're here. I just don't know how you got here because I can't find the video myself, which is so funny. Yeah, I literally have no idea. Hey, Barbara, you found us too. Well, I'm glad you found me. I just wish I could find myself because I'm literally on YouTube right now on our channel and I cannot figure out how to find the video. So I don't know what the deal is here. If you want to, if somebody wants to try to grab the link since you found it, it was at the top of the page, at the top of the YouTube channel. It's so interesting because I literally cannot find it. I've refreshed like 100 times. Yeah, I cannot find it. I don't know why. Hey, Flora. If somebody wants to grab the link to this video because I can't seem to find it and share it to the event in Facebook, that would be awesome because I cannot figure out where to find it. Let's see. Hello, Mary. I love that people are finding this. I just wish I could find it. Go to the link. Let's see. YouTube. Let's see if it will. Okay, now it's saying I'm live. So, okay, there we go. I think I just found it. Good golly. I don't know why I couldn't find it just by going to our YouTube channel, though. So strange. And I gotta see if there's a way for me to see the comments now. So obviously this is a little of a new a new thing. I'm not sure how to see the live comments now, so that's fun. All right, well, anyway, we might have to work this all out. You posted it in the group, thank you. Hey, Kelly, I might need your assistance because I cannot figure out how to see. So I'm watching from my iPad and I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing the comments from my phone. Like if I look at my phone that's taking the video, but I cannot see comments live as I'm watching from my oops, that's not it. From my iPad. So, any guesses as to how I could see that? Maybe I have to open the app. Let me see. Oh, there they are. Oh my goodness. Okay, wow, that was really complicated. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh my goodness. What a mess. So I can see the comments now. Yay. I'm so sorry. I hate stuff like this takes so long in the beginning because you just want to get to what you want to do. Thank you so much. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay, awesome. So I am super excited because I wanted to share with you our September release. I don't think I have everything right here, and that's just my fault because today kind of got away from me. But I have most of the products here, and I do want to play with them today a little bit. And one of the sets that I really want to play with is this one, the vintage labels, because it has so many fun things you can do with it, and it actually coordinates with our tabs, tickets, and more dies, which I don't have the full set just sitting here, but I can show you the little what some of the dies look like. So we've got tabs. This one is like a little notebook spiral edge. Let's see if I can find. Here's another tab. There, we've got tickets, shapes. So these are all in the tabs, tickets, and more die set that we released a few months ago. And then it's a standalone set. It was meant to be a standalone set originally. And then I was like, you know, I kind of would like to have some images and some words and little things that I can use with the set. I'm not sure if that's all of them or not. I'm literally reading through all these. Here, I think this one's one of them. Rooting through all these dies that I just have loose in my pile here. Anyway, so hello. I appreciate you all so much. You have no idea. Okay, so anyway, sometimes I do things backwards. And so this came first, and now we have the stamp set. So I'm going to show you a couple of, let me see if I can show you. I don't have a lot with it because I gave away what I made with it, but I do have, so here is an example using the little ticket stubs, the little tickets with the stamp set. So we've got the two little tickets with this, these two images here. And then, let's see, this actually is not part of the stamp set, but these are the tab, one of the tabs, and then the little, I don't know what you call this one, the fishtail banner or whatever. So that's on there. And I don't know if I did use this set to kind of decorate and do some things on this page, but, I don't have a lot of examples showing you the tickets. So I thought it would be fun to just show you some fun ways to use these items together. But one of the cool things about the set is that it was designed so that you can just create easy, quick tickets. Okay, you could just do these two different designs will fit in the two different ticket. Okay, what did oh, it's right here in front of my face. These two tickets, okay, will fit these two. But I also stuck in two little frames that are blank so that you could create your own little tickets. If you wanted to use other stamps, if you wanted to use stamps from this set, whatever you want to do. And there's even a little extra, like, I don't know if you guys can see inside the ticket, there are these sort of little designs. I created separate designs, so if you wanted to build your own things, you could build and still have, like, there's the little T, which is right here. You could stamp that inside. So let's just do that. Okay, so you guys can see I did already pre-stamp a few of these just so you could kind of see what they look like already done. But I just thought it would be fun to just build a few different things and, whoa, hello. And just see how these different elements work together. Okay, so now this one I actually stamped opposite of the way that it's designed. So you could, you know, I wasn't really paying attention when I stamped this. You could turn it, you could, you know, just stamp it this way if you want. It doesn't really matter. Whichever direction you want it to be in is fine. The image below the numbers, yes, it does look like a mustache, which is so funny. But it actually, and I don't know if I have the, there is another die, and I have to see if I can find it. There's a bracket type of a die that's also in this set. And I'm not seeing it in my pile of loose dies, which is terrible that I have them all loose here. But that image actually goes with the bracket die. And I'm sorry I'm making all this noise. I don't know where that die is. And I'm dropping dies on the floor. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I don't even know what is happening right now. Let me see if I can grab that before I lose it. So anyway, yes, you're right. That's funny because it does totally look like a mustache, which wasn't the intention, but that's just the way it worked. You could definitely make it a mustache if that's what you want to do. But there is a little bracket die that goes with this, and I may have lost it. I have no idea, or maybe it's in this mess somewhere. This is what happens when you don't put your stuff away when you use it. Oh, I just found it. Okay, so here's the bracket die. And so this image, like if you wanted to, and we might play with that, I'll die cut it, stamp this, and then die cut it with this so you can see what it looks like. So we'll just kind of play around and see what kinds of things we can create. I am going to try to create a card. I have some pieces already sitting here that were just from previous videos and things. So we may use those. We'll just kind of see how this goes. Okay. So this is one of the images, and you can stamp it inside this little ticket, so you can see how that looks by itself if you wanted to add just some little elements to it. Then we've got, let's just do this one too, just for fun. Then we've got, let's see, what did I do with my cleaning cloth here? There are some blue jays in the trees near my room outside. Obviously they're outside, and they are just squawking back and forth to each other right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know why, but the screen, the video on my, as I watch it on YouTube, is like a weird, it's almost stretched somehow. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's that way for you guys too. On my phone, it looks fine, but for some reason on my iPad, as I'm watching, it just looks a little bit funny. Also, if I could get one of the team members to maybe pop over to the Facebook group and just make sure that, you know, if anybody's looking for us, just kind of, if you could just keep an eye on that and see, because obviously we didn't go live in the group. Okay, so there's that. And so you could take like some of these little things and fit them inside here. We've got like these little stars. You could do the little stars across here if you wanted. You could do the little admit one. You could put ticket in here. Let's see. And I thought it would be fun as well to use some of our other stamps, and you could certainly use any stamps that you have to put little, even some little images inside inside these. So let's just play around. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions. I'll try to watch for comments. Um, hey Michelle. Oh, awesome. Mary's is coming on Monday, it says. Tina's here. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So maybe we'll do the little stars. I think this row of stars is so cute. Put this maybe in here. I'm a little shaky for some reason. My hands are all shaky. Maybe it's because I'm nervous. Maybe I'm nervous because it's a whole new thing for me to do a YouTube live. So who knows? Let's do this little number. This would be something fun that maybe you're not really feeling your mojo as far as doing something creative, like super creative and doing something start to finish. But it would be fun to just sit and stamp a few, just some little tickets or whatever, some little tabs, whatever you want to use in here, and just play around, just get the mojo going and see what happens. And then you'll have these ready to go for when you want to create something later. If you've watched me before, you know that I love to just do things in like the steps are separate. They're spread out. I don't always do a start to finish. Let's see, what else can we put in here? So I kind of like these numbers. So one of the fun things about this long number is that you can ink up, if you just want a few of the numbers, maybe you don't want this whole entire long, row of numbers, you could just ink up a few of them. So maybe we could do 1, 2, 3 and just ink up those 3 and then stamp that inside. And we'll clean it off. I forgot to wet my chamois, so I'm just using a baby wipe. You could do numbers, let's see, I'm gonna turn it this way. Maybe we could do the 7, 8, 9, 0. It's just fun to play around and build different things with the elements in the set. Yes, hi Sharon. Hey Karen. Yes, sometimes I don't know, I can be creative or I only have a little bit of time and I don't, I'm just like, I don't know where this is going to go. So I might just sit and play and see what happens. Okay, I did have a thought. I grabbed this stamp set ahead of time because I thought this would be so cute. Have you guys ever seen our mini tag sentiments set? It's got all the holidays, like birthday and then holidays. Not all the holidays, but a lot of holidays. Little images in it. Look at how fun this will be on these tickets. Oh my goodness. I just saw it today when I was rooting through all my stuff. I'm like, oh my word, you could make them Christmassy. You could make them, you could do this little birthday thing. Now there is a little pumpkin. You could even stamp, if I hadn't stamped all of this, I could have done Happy Fall Y'all in there. How fun is that? We could do this little present. Oh my goodness. It doesn't take much to excite me. Obviously, I am easily amused, so it's fine. Let's do our little present over here. How cute is this gonna be? I love it. It's so adorable. Yes, isn't that so fun? Anything with like little icons. Um, you could even do some really cool, like techniques where you have images that go outside of the box, and then it's just a partial thing. That would be super fun too. Let's see. There's that star in here. That would be fun and something. And this little Christmas tree. Oh my goodness, let's do a little Christmas tree. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Does anybody else get giddy? I mean, I just get giddy about some of this silly stuff. Oh my goodness. Here's a ho 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 with a Santa hat on it. I think it might fit in this little spot right here with the present. How perfect is that? Stop it. Ah! Oh my goodness. I can't. I just can't. Whoops. So you could go any way with these. I mean, they could be anything you want them to be. Any occasion. Let's see. Do I want to put anything else in here? Look at this little coffee mug. How cute is that? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do any more of these or what. There's a candle. You could do the candle in one of the long, narrow ones. So fun. So fun. All right, now let me see this again. There's almost so many choices, like I'm having a hard time deciding what I want to do. You could probably put like date here, and if you wanted to just write in a date, you could. I am just having too much fun over here. You could put the number sign in there if you did like the number sign and then some of these numbers. Let's see. I don't know. Do I just want to finish that off with something Christmassy? I mean, I could do... It doesn't matter. They're just meant to be an embellishment, so you can make them look however you want. I'm going to put the number here, and then I'm going to do that little holly leaf. So we're making this a Christmassy ticket. Just be careful and make sure you clean your stamps well and you put them back on right away. I lost the happy to one of my other new sets recently, and yeah, who knows if it'll ever reappear. Okay, that's so cute. Oops. Yeah, and see how they want to move and groove, so you definitely want to make sure you're careful with these teeny weeny ones. Okay, so I don't know yet what I want to do with some of these, but let's die cut them and see if we can just kind of play around, decorate them a little bit, or add some color. I set up my die cut machine so I could wheel it right next to myself here, so you won't be able to see it on screen, but you will be able to probably hear me cracking it. Okay, so when I go to die cut, somebody had asked recently, about die cutting. Do you stamp first? Do you die cut first? It's really up to you, but if you stamp first, you can just line your die up inside the or I'm sorry, line the die up around the image so that, you know, I can't put my head in front of the video right now, but I'm going to try to tape this down. I like to tape it down because I don't want it going anywhere. And then we'll do this one over here. And I'm just going to kind of hold that in place, run it through my machine here. You lost an R from one of your alphabet sets? Yeah. Ugh. So what you could probably do, well, depending on what kind, was it a script or was it a, look at that. Oh my goodness, stop. How cute. And it even has the little, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it has the little, like you could tear this off. It has the perforation. This one's a little easier to see because I didn't line up the other one as well, but it has the perforation on it. So you could even tear them if you wanted. Was it a script or like a type font? Because with a type font, you could probably take like the letter N and just mask off part of it to make an R. I've totally had to think outside the box sometimes with stuff like that. And, you know, when I lose something. All right, let's do this one. It was not a script. Well, yeah, that if it wasn't script, it might be easier to do that with an N. Oh yeah, Mary. Yeah, Mary. Sorry, Sherry. Sherry Ann. Yes, that would be a fun way to put a scripture reference, to use it on a little ticket. I can imagine it like in a planner. You could use them in planners or obviously your junk journaling and all that kind of stuff. Card making. Okay. Uh-oh, did that not go through? I don't think it did. I think I went off my page. Let me do that one again. I think it was off the edge of my mat, so it didn't cut the whole way through. All right, come on now. Oh my goodness, they're just so cute. I just love it. I mean, buying ephemera is fun, but I like that, you know, with stamps and dies and all that, you can create them over and over again. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to buy multiple packs of them. You can just create over and over again. I think both are fun. Okay. So I'm just going to cut these last few out. That way we can potentially use them to create a card. And I'm probably not going to use like the holiday one, you know, for right now. You'll see them, I'm sure you'll see them at some point in the future when I make a holiday card, but we're probably just going to use these two for now. And don't be afraid to write. Like I think people are afraid to use their own writing. when they're creating cards and stuff like that, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to write on something. Like you can totally do your own, you know, like I don't have a 50-cent stamp or something, so you could just write it. Doesn't matter. Oops, my pen bled a little bit there, I think. Or something. So we'll just go over it with some white. Alright, we're just going to do that for fun. Alright, so I've got all these just different ones that I did, and then I'm going to keep these two, I think. Let me put this away. So there is also, well, there are little tags that you can get to go, tag dies you can get to go with this set too, but I think they might have just sold out today, so I need to reorder those. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was gonna stamp. Oh, I wanted to stamp some of these other items so you could see what they look like, and then we'll die cut them as well. Hey, Melissa. So these darker ones, they are meant to be stamped in a color so that you could then stamp, you know, words or whatever. I've got a cat or dog hair here. That is, or maybe it's on the other side. I can't tell. There it is. So you could stamp these in a color. Let's just say, I'm just grabbing a color. So here's tumbled glass. You could stamp that, and then you can cut that out. It almost reminds me of a pencil, this one, like a little tiny stubby pencil. You could just cut that one out. You could add stuff in, you know, inside here. Like it could be the little, here's the sign here. You could put sign here. You know, some little office-y sayings and stamps. Let me move this out of the way. I gotta clean it. But. So that's one way you could use that one. And this one also has a little perforated spot just for fun, just to give it a little something extra. So the image should line up just inside the lines when you stamp first and then die cut. That's basically how you would line it up. I wanted to do that bracket too so you guys could see what the bracket looks like. Whoops. Oh, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Okay, so there's the little sign here in color. All right, now let's see. We're going to use one of these flowers. That's why I keep working from this piece, because I stamped these before. This is one of our new stamp sets for September, and it's awesome. It's called Vintage Floral Collection, and it really is so beautiful. I think this is, whoops, this is what it looks like. The whole set. So pretty. All right. I realize this part is probably not that exciting, so but I mean, you know, you're not going to see it. You're not going to know. You're not going to know what I'm doing if I don't show you, I guess. So, all right, let's do another blue. Just in case I decide I'm going to use blues. I think I'm going to use some blues for my card that I'm going to make here shortly. And so that's why I'm sticking to blue shades of blue, just in case I decide to use it. So how was everyone's Labor Day? Did you do anything exciting? Did you have just a day of rest and just hang out? Did you spend it with family? Two of my kids and my grandkids and my daughter-in-law. See, there it is. Very fun. They all came over, and my mother-in-law, and we just kind of ate some food and hung out for a little bit. And my husband and I worked outside, and the weather was so beautiful here. I worked outside. Well, we worked outside, and then in the building, the Creative Worship Stamps building. I spent quite a bit of time out there, so got a lot done. Just hung out with your husband. Listen, sometimes that's my favorite way to spend a holiday, is nothing too exciting, nowhere to go, nothing really, important to do. Just enjoy some downtime. All right, I think I'm going to start playing and creating. That way you guys aren't bored to tears. So there's just a few little things that you can see that you can do with it. Obviously, these little tab dies will cut out those shapes. So the way that I stamp these, you could do the same thing, stamp them in a color, and then die cut them. And then this one here is a double, but there's just the one stamp, so you can just stamp it. If you wanted to die cut it first and then stamp it, you could. I'm trying to see what else there is. This little guy here goes with this one. And then there's even these little extra things you can add to it if you want. Just so many possibilities. So many fun little possibilities. You could really just go to town. Yes, you did your live craft room sale. Hey, Diane. Melissa's at the cabin. Yes, awesome. I love it. Okay, so what I was thinking I would do is I think I shared this card with you guys in the last month's live that I did in the VIP group, where we made these different cards. Do you guys remember that? And I was showing you how basically this was my example, and I had used some of the September stamps in this one, but in this example I used other stamps, so you could see how you could do it with all different kinds. Well, I never used these, so I decided to pull them out and see if we could sort of recreate something similar to this using some of these items as well, adding a little bit of extra to it. Over here I used this tab over here and then added the important, so that's what like this right here, important, and I used this right here. So I did use that, but I thought it might be fun to change it up and do the tickets this time. So we're gonna do something similar, but not quite the same. So this I had already done. So there is a video, actually it's on our YouTube channel already in case you missed it. It's the replay of the video where I created these little cards, and they're basically meant to go in a background. You can be used as a background, or you could use them as tags or whatever you want. But I'm going to use one of those today. And when I said remember I said about wanting to use blue, I thought it'd be fun to use this one because it has some blue in it. And so we'll make a blue version similar to this one. So that means I need to get out my this guy here. So let me see, maybe I will die cut one of these just to get it ready, and then I'll start coloring it. I thought it would be fun to show you, for those of you who did the stamp camp, who took stamp camp. which by the way, it's still available if you missed out. It's all virtual, so you could still take advantage of it. You can do the non-kit option where you just watch the videos, or you can get the kit because we still have some kits left and get all the products that are in the kit. So that is available, but we did we got some sprays in. There were sprays in the kit. So if you were in Stamp Camp, I'm going to actually use some sprays to color this image. All right, I'm going to stick that guy in there for a moment, get him out of the way. Okay, so we've got our flower. Yes, Stamp Camp really was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. Okay. And I have some, I'm milling around some ideas about how we can do some similar, kind of keep the fun going with the Stamp Camp idea, but I'm praying about it and trying to decide what I want to do. So so stay tuned for some more info about that. I don't really want to spray this right now just because I'm just going to kind of dip it in here. This is just the Salvaged Patina Distress Spray Stain. And I'm going to just put a little bit of it on my glass mat. I could spray it, but if it's probably going to make a little bit of a mess. We're going to use it to color, to basically watercolor our flower. So I want to kind of lighten this a little bit. I don't want it to be too dark. And I'm just going to very loosely watercolor this. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to get some color on here. And when I do something like this, I try to start wherever the darkest area is that I want. I try to start there, and then as the color lightens, I move outward so that I can get some of that shading and the highlights and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. If you notice my method here, you could add a little bit of water to water it down even more. But this is just another way just to kind of show you how you can use your spray stains. If you have any kinds of sprays like this and you're like, oh, you know, what else can I do with it? Well, this is one of the things you can do with it. You can paint with it. Use it like watercolors. This is not watercolor paper. I'm just using, this is Nina Classic Crest Solar White paper. And I'm going to need a little bit more of this Salvaged Patina. Yes, I love me some Salvaged Patina. And get some more water here because I just want to work my way out. Now this is not, on my original card, I actually used Copic markers to color. That's why it's a little bit more, well, it's quite detailed with the shading and all of that. I used my Copic markers to color that. But the reason I didn't want to use Copics today is because the images that I stamped were stamped with a VersaFine ink. And VersaFine and the Copic markers do not mix unless you emboss, because the Copic markers, any kind of alcohol marker for that matter, is going to react with the VersaFine ink and it's going to smear and smudge, and you're not going to be happy at all, I assure you. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so this paper, because it's 110 pound, it does work okay for watercolor. Now it absorbs really quickly, so you're not going to get, oh, this was broken china, by the way. You're not going to get, I just want to add some shading in here. You're not going to get the same look as you would get with, like watercolor paper. So just keep that in mind. It does absorb into, so you don't have a long time to work with it, um, but it does hold up to the water. And because my paper is a little bit wet, it's actually allowing me to blend a little bit with these colors. Going in with that lighter first and then going over top with the dark, it's kind of allowing me to, believe it or not, mix the colors a little bit. Probably ought to close that because my luck, I'll bump it and it will go flying. All right, so I think I'm just going to add a little bit of sort of a darker outline kind of to the edges, just to define that a little bit more. Kind of like I did with my Copic coloring. I tend to be conservative with the ink. I never really know. I don't put a ton down because I don't always know how much I'm going to need, and I can always add more. I would rather do that than, you know, waste it. I just don't. That's just kind of how I am. I don't like to waste things. Typically. Okay. I like it. So there is my blue flower. And I may even, I'm trying to decide, do I want to add, I'm not really sure if, I do actually have some Uncharted Mariner here, but it's not the spray stain, it's the oxide. And I'm afraid that because I personally like the spray stain better for this technique because the oxide oxidizes and gives you kind of more of a chalkier look. So I think I'll just leave that. I don't think I have a darker blue, but maybe I'll see if I can add just another layer of the broken china just to the centers. I like that really like striking and dramatic dark contrast. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it's definitely absorbing into... Oop, the sun just went behind a cloud and it got really dark in here. Maybe not. Maybe it didn't get really dark, but to me it got really dark. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I'm gonna do, for the center, I'm gonna do probably some Have some wild honey. Do a little bit. I better wipe this up because there might be still some blue there and I'm going to end up with green. All right. And you can use a water brush to do this. I just happen to have a paintbrush right here that was already sitting in my water, so I just grabbed it. I'm just kind of dabbing a little bit so that the outside is a little darker than the inside. So there you can see, hopefully you guys can see that pretty well, that the color is on there. I'm just gonna wipe up at that little tiny bit of ink. All right, let's see how this looks together. I think that will work, those two together. All right, so another fun thing I like to do, just, I don't know why this is, but there's something about a shimmer that I love. And I did do this, I did do some splatter on this piece, some of this gold splatter on here. I don't know if you can see that or not up close, but I want to use a little bit of this gold paint. This was also in the Stamp Camp kit. Let's see, where did I put, there's my brush. I'm gonna just use my water brush because I don't need a lot. I'm just gonna dip it into the top here, and I actually want to grab a little bit of water. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of water. Kind of make it a little runnier. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of shimmer to the inside here. There's just something about a little shimmer that I love. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but hopefully the light is hitting it and you can see it. I can't tell from the screen. Anyway, it shimmers kind of like Wink of Stella, which I love. Just a little gold shimmer. And you could certainly go, you know, go a little crazier with it if you want. I'm trying to see if I can look at it from an angle so I can get the light to hit it just right. I did it on this one as well, so you can see maybe the shimmer on there. Yes, I love using the shimmery paint to do that because it literally looks just like the Wink of Stella would look, but you can do so much more with a bottle of paint. So anyway. All right. Let's see. What else do I want to do? So on my original, I actually had leaves on there, but the leaves that I used, I don't know if I have room to do it because I used up all my paper here. But the leaves that I did on my original were actually the leaves from this set. And I don't have enough room on here because I went crazy with my tickets. So let's see here. I think I can probably use this piece. So let's do, this leaf. I like to combine sets. This set is kind of, it's called Colors of Fall. It is, you know, it's obviously got mushrooms and sort of a fall vibe going on. But you know what? That doesn't bother me one bit. I'm going to take these lovely leaves and we're going to make them, we're going to use them for the flower because we can. So let me just see though. I don't know if I have, I might have to use a watercolor. I might have to use, some watercolors to color these leaves because I do not have a green. I don't have, whoops, I don't have green. Oh my, these went flying. I don't even know which color's what. They all came flying out of here. I don't have green sprays, so we're going to have to improvise. And I also don't have dies for this stamp set, which I feel like I might have to rectify that, and we might have to do some dies. So I will have to fussy cut this. I know some of you probably grumble when I say that word. It's like a swear word for some people, but some of you don't mind it. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. I feel like the way this is drawn and the way this is drawn, they go together because of all the lines. So that was why I thought this leaf would look, whoops, I got ink all over myself, would look really pretty with this stamp. Even though they really don't technically go together. It's going to be okay. Note to self, do not use wipes, baby wipes for cleaning stamps. You get fibers everywhere. This is why I need to remember to wet my chamois before I start a live. But that's a problem for another day. Okay. Yes, I feel that too. I feel that too. Melissa says it stresses her out. And Flora and Sharon say that it can be relaxing and therapeutic. So see, I knew we were going to have some team fussy cutting and team no fussy cutting. And that is okay because there is a place for both. Let's see. I don't know what colors we've got here, so let's do a little swatching. Whoa, that is way too green. Because my palette kind of exploded over here. And all right, let's do this color. I think I kind of like this color. And my brush is pretty wet. I'm just, I'm going to use my glass mat as sort of a palette. My brush is pretty wet and I'm just moving this around really, really quickly. And then I'll go in and add some shading. Barbara says she's too cheap to buy dies. And if it's easy enough, yeah, I feel it. I understand that. I can respect that. Sometimes for me, I'm too lazy to get up and die cut it. I'm like, you know what? I have the scissors right here. I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be fine. I will just fussy cut it. It just depends on my mood and my time and what am I feeling. Oops, I colored really outside the lines there. Oh well. I'm gonna cut it anyway, so not too terribly concerned. Yeah, we're just gonna make this green. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it anyway. Okay, let's see. I don't really know which of these colors. Let me see if I can read them on here. This one is 141. Okay, so I think 141 might be nice for, maybe I could mix a little bit of it with this other green. Because I kind of want to have, like a darker shade. but not quite so bright green. You can tell probably by the way I'm just laying this down. I'm not doing anything really. Let's see. I'm not being a perfectionist. I'm just getting the color down. Just kind of quickly gliding across. All right, works for me. Yes, right? Kelly, I know it was your favorite part of the job. Using the die cut machine. Okay, so since I don't have a die for this, I am going to fussy cut it. But I want to get rid of some of this excess paper because it's just annoying and gets in the way. So we're just going to trim that off. And then we're going to sit here and fussy cut this. I feel like I don't actually need the stems, so I'm not going to bother. We're just going to cut out the leaves. I didn't even have to color those stems. It's fine. It's fine. I know a lot of you printable users, those of you who enjoy using printables for Bible journaling or whatever, you are probably very well accustomed to fussy cutting. Unless you have a machine that can scan and cut them, or however those machines work these days. I don't even know what the newest technology is. All right. So my leaves are still kind of wet because obviously I just watercolored them, which I feel like it might be making it harder for me to cut this out just because the paper just wants to bend where it's wet. So I'm having a hard time holding on to it firmly. I suppose I could have dried it first. And I'm not cutting up against the, I'm leaving like that white border, kind of like a die would have. Basically so that it matches the image. I'm just going to cut that one off because that's probably going to be one leaf on one side, and then this will be and what you can do too, I don't know if you noticed there, if this kind of thing would bother you, where there was a like the stem that is kind of in here and right here, and then I think right here, you can always take a pen, a white paint pen or a white jelly pen, and just look how that basically just got rid of the line. If you want to be meticulous, you know, you could potentially hide it and you won't even notice, but I just covered up those lines. Now you can't even tell that there was any kind of a stem there. And please don't look closely at my cut job because it's not that great, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, let those dry. Oh, I forgot to do that little trick here, but it really doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure you're not going to see that part anyway, but thank you. Yeah, Melissa says she converts the printables to print and cut for her silhouette. Yes, I get you. I get it. I really do. Okay, so let's do, I want to do some, I'm going to rough this up. This was a background that I had cut. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had shared it when we released the cover plate dies, the postage cover plate die. I had shared this and it's just been sitting in with my other stuff. And I thought what I might do is just use this because it is similar to the background on this card. I used the script stencil and I used black modeling paste or texture paste or whatever it was. I can't remember now off the top of my head. And I went through, I scraped that through the stencil. So it's actually really cool in person. You can't see it in the video, but this is all textured, all of that script. But I want to go in and grunge this up. So I'm just going to go around the edges with some walnut stain. And I think I'm going to even try, I mean, this is kind of a big brush. I don't know if I have a smaller brush for my brown or not. I'm going to try to also enhance the, where the postage perforation, if you will, is. I'm going to try to. I don't know if it's going to work very well, but I need a smaller, need to go find my smaller brushes for this kind of more delicate. I have a few small brushes. You can try to just use the edge too. Hopefully you can see that kind of coming together where it's a little bit more distinct for each stamp shape. All right, we're going to do that. And then I think that, I might actually take some ground espresso and do some even darker edges. Fiber paste. That's fun. All the shaking of my table that I'm doing. Some of the blocks over here off screen just settled. Kind of fell down a little bit. All right, so we're going to do that. And then because I have some of this ink here, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll just see. Grab this and do some splatters. Nice. That sounds like something I might have to look into. All right. Let's see here. So what I want to do now, just to add some more texture, we're going to break out this new, this is also new for September. This is called Vintage Postcards, and you can see I've already loved it well. It's quite stained. And I thought it would be fun to do some, just a little bit. I'm going to do it in brown, I think, in a few different places to add a little bit more texture to this background. I'll use the walnut stain. The sun just went behind a cloud again, so I don't know if my lighting changed in here for you guys or not, but let's just do a little bit of this and that. Isn't that fun? Just adds a nice muted texture in the background. I don't know if I said walnut stain or ground espresso for that, but that was ground espresso. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take this piece, and it's going to kind of just go on here, sort of. I might actually trim off some of it, because I want to do something with these as well. And I'm just gonna, like, this is gonna go in here somewhere, probably like that. This is gonna go in here. So maybe you can sort of see how it's coming together. But I want to use these little tickets, so I'm just trying to decide, and I'm probably gonna make them, I'm gonna do something to them. I just don't know what yet. Maybe something like that. Maybe I won't cut it down. Let's just see. Okay, so so that the tickets can be seen, I want them, you know, I mean, I know I've got a lot of this brown going on here. So I think so that the tickets can be more obvious, I think I'm going to actually spritz them with some of this spray stain. Let me get my splatter box. I actually have it here. All right, so this is my little box that I use for splatters. And let's see. Let's try some of this broken china. Ooh, that's dark. All right, that one's broken china. Let's do, maybe on the other one, we'll do some salvaged patina. There we go. The salvage patina spreads a little bit more. Spreads out a little bit more. I'm going to grunge them up as well. So, like with some brown, probably just a little bit. But I kind of like how that one got it spread out a little bit more. And so you can see there's actually spray. I don't know if you can see there's still some wet spray in here. I'm going to spray it with water and see if this kind of mutes it a little bit. Because that's a darker ink. It ends up being, since it's so concentrated, it ends up being a darker ink. So I'm gonna actually add some water to this. And it probably won't pick anything up because it is soaking in, but I just want you to be able to see what's on there a little bit better. Okay. So now I want to take, oh, let's see. I think I want to take that ground espresso again. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm going to take the ground espresso and I'm just going to do a little bit on the edges. Now this is wet, so it's kind of wanting to bend on me. Should probably I should probably try that. This one's going to be a little bit easier to see because the color is lighter. All right, so now We got all of our little bits and bobs here. I really feel like I want to add more shading to these images, but I'm not sure if, let me see, maybe I'll add some of a darker blue in here with, now that it's drying, I really want there to be a little bit more shading. So I might go in with this watercolor palette and do, let's see which color. This is the 143, which is pretty dark. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of this darker color. Melissa, this reminds me of, almost kind of reminds me of that Uncharted Mariner. When you said about blending it, this color kind of makes me think of that. There's just something about adding more shading. I think some of my paper's a little too wet right here. All right. This is the thing about coloring when you're doing like, when you're doing watercolors and stuff, you do really have to let it dry so you can see what color it ends up being, because it doesn't always dry the way it looks when it's wet. And because I'm being lazy and the colors are here, I'm just adding more layer of color with this watercolor palette that I have. I just love blues. So pretty. Okay. So this, if you're curious, it's a Prima Marketing Currents watercolor set. All right, let me just dry this. And the leaves. Okay. It's a little bit dark right in here, but I'm not gonna get too crazy about it. All right, so let's get this popped up. I did rough up the edges with my edge distressor on the original, and I kind of like how that looks, so we're gonna go for it. It'll also break up the color a little bit because you'll be able to see some of that white edge, so it will give us another contrast since there's a lot of brown. It's just little touches like that that make the difference. All right, making a mess, shaving the paper everywhere. Okay, goodbye. Right on the floor it goes. We'll clean that up later. Okay, so there's that. We're gonna put this guy here, I think. And then this guy's gonna go here. Hey, Penny. Listen, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so maybe something like in there. And I think I'm gonna put, let's see, we've got our little tickets. So they keep catching on the raised areas of the stenciling. So I think I'm just gonna kind of peek them out a little bit like this maybe. I just have to decide if I want this to go this way. Do I want it to go this way instead? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. What do we think? And then I did have a sentiment that I was gonna probably add to that. But what are we thinking? Isn't that cute? Well, maybe cute's not the right word. Maybe it's pretty? I don't know. I don't know. There's this little bracket we could maybe use or something somehow. I'm not sure. But let me get my sentiment. I'm going to just use "May you be blessed today and every day." So I'm going to die cut that. Oh, I'm sorry, Penny, about the time zone thing. I am in Georgia, so I'm on the East Coast. So anytime I do a live, it's gonna be East Coast time. Okay. All right, there's our sentiments. And I'm gonna put this just kind of like, I don't know, maybe right in here. Maybe right in there. What do you think? Does that look good? Oh, let me get on screen. Am I on here? Okay, so now we need a card base. This will work. Thank you. I love it. Love that flower. Okay, so now we're going to start layering. We're going to pop this up here. So I do want it to be raised, so I'm going to use some foam tape for this. In fact, we're probably going to use quite a bit because I think I raised like every single layer on this card. So we're just going to it's going to be a hand cancel only if it gets mailed because it's going to be bulky. It's going to be bulky. Well, that's a pretty darn near good fit right there. Let's see. I know I'm using a lot of foam tape. I don't always use so much foam tape, but it's not like I have a shortage, so I am just going to use it. It's fine. Oop. My scissors didn't want to really cut it there. All right, that is just going to fit in there. We're going to make sure it sticks. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Foam taped to kingdom come. Hi, Tara. How are you, my friend? Penny. Yes, there's always the replay. And since this is a YouTube live, it doesn't disappear in 30 days. So there's that. Yeah, I know. I actually have 2 big rolls of that foam tape. I'm a little obsessed. Okay. This, of course, takes forever because you got to peel it all. All right. Let's see if we can get this bald. on here. Yes. Look at that. I love it so much. And what's so crazy funny is I probably made the original background for this with the stencil and the black paste is I made that background, the original background, years ago. I'm pretty sure it was when I still had my brick and mortar store that I made that. So I'm just saying, my stuff eventually gets used. Okay, we're not going to quite go so crazy with the foam tape on this one. So, Tara, I'm so good you're doing well, or so good. So glad you're doing well. I read you're good, and then I said good. Don't mind me. God is good. He is faithful. And his mercies are new every morning. Okay, so before I glue this one down, I should probably arrange my little tickets because they're gonna be stuck to, most likely to this. So let's see. I might have to do a little finagling here to get this to, maybe I'll just glue it down. I'm going to glue these. I'm going to kind of arrange them where I want them and just stick them. This is going to be a little tricky. How about like that? I don't know if that's sticking up far enough. Boy, this part's like really fun. It works. That's fine. We're just gonna let it be. I could be here all day long. Okay. So we're just gonna pop that right there. Boop. And I didn't actually add more glue to that, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Okay, so now we're gonna arrange this. I'm gonna put a little bit of tape. I'm gonna put a little bit of foam tape in the center of the flower because I want to just get it in place, and then I can kind of adjust where the leaves are going. Actually, I might even just glue it because that leaf is kind of touching the foam. So I think I'll just let that be right like that. And then I'm gonna put another piece. And put a piece here to glue that down. And since the leaves are kind of curling up, I don't think I'm going to put foam on the leaves. I'm just going to let them be curled. And I'll just have the flower will be popped up just to give us a little bit of dimension. So, let's see. And then I'm probably going to just put a little bit of wet glue on here, but I just want to figure out where this is going first. Is it stuck? Yeah, that works. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of wet glue, and we're almost done. So if you're still hanging in with me, Thank you. I'm going to stick a little, because that leaf is not really stuck very well to the flower, so I'm going to put a little tiny piece of foam tape right there. Okay. I'm going to put you maybe right here, like that. Foam tape galore. And then the sentiment, I think, is going to just go right in here. And we'll just do a couple of little pieces of foam. Aw, I'm glad you're still here. I know this part is like, boring. Very boring. I'm trying to see, because I've got all these things like turned and different angles, so I'm like, okay, let's see, maybe I should use this to line it up. Trying to get the sentiment to be straight. Does that look okay? I think maybe like that. Okay, I hope so, because it's down. And I might actually need to put a little tiny bit of foam tape behind here, this side, to catch that edge. Because there is a little bit of foam. And now I'm just being kind of particular, but I'm trying not to bend it. This part is not fun. This part is just whatever. Like, get it done already. And it keeps wanting to move on me. There we go. Or not. Oh, for heaven's sake. Now I got too much sticking out. Okay. Okay. Does the width matter? As far as 3M tape, I bought a generic brand on Amazon and I don't like it. Does the width matter? Do you mean the width of the tape? I mean, I just buy this Scotch. I can't even remember where I got this. It's been years. Whenever I start to get low, I buy another huge one. But anyway, there it is. I kind of wish I would have added some of that gold paint splatter to the whole thing, because I did some on this piece, but it's fine. We're not gonna worry too much about it. I'll end up getting gold splatter on places where I don't want it. So, oh, the thickness. Does the thickness matter? I guess that's up to you. I don't even know how thick this is. 1/16 of an inch, maybe. All right, well, there it is. There is my card using some of our awesome September products. Here's a few of the little tickets and things that we made with the stamps and dies. And I hope it was inspiring and that you'll get out some goodies and play. It doesn't have to be the products that I used, of course. Hopefully it just inspires you to do something fun and creative. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. So we'll catch you next time.